This is the standby screen, and I'm going to show you how the active standby screen works on the E63. See, if we use the D-pad, we can move up and down through the various items and left and right through the user-definable menu shortcuts. We can also move down to this little indicator here showing that we have to define our voicemail mailbox. Little notes like this pop up for inbound messages, voicemails, things like that. One of the great things about the E63 is it supports Nokia's new mode switching home screens. Just by selecting this shortcut on the active standby screen, you can switch to a totally different setup, different theme, differently configured shortcut icons, all sorts of good stuff. So you can have one for work, one for play. And all it takes is a couple seconds to switch over. S60 smartphones like the E63 support true multitasking, so you can have applications running in the background. The way to see those apps is to hold down the home key and then you can scroll through the various apps. You can see I have Nokia Maps loaded running in the background already. Pressing the home key again will get you to the standby screen or once more to the main menu. You can also see, if you look closely, the tools item is a little circle up there. That means that there's an application in there running, and in this case you can see it's actually the Maps application. You can also kill the application just by hitting the delete key and then saying yes. Pull up the web browser. Scroll through some of the bookmarks we have. Bring up the mobile burn site. This is connecting through AT&T's network. You can see it comes up pretty quickly. Move the mouse pointer around with the D-pad. When you scroll quickly, you get that little overview so you can see where you are in the terms of the total length of the page. We're going to pull up the browser through a Wi-Fi connection this time. We'll load up the full Mobile Burn website. You can see how that comes across. Wi-Fi connections work pretty well. It's a WebKit-based browser, so it's just like the iPhone in that regard, except the 320 by 240 pixel display has a tougher time, showing enough usable information. So you have to zoom out a bit in order to see what's going on. We'll zoom out to 50% and get a better look at the site. Some things get a little crowded. You can see the text underneath the thumbnails is going past the black area, which it wouldn't normally on a PC, but in general everything's rendered properly. JavaScript's working. You can see how the text disappears when I mouse over it. Can switch through the tabs just like you would on a PC. Flash ads working, all that kind of stuff. Click through to one of the stories. One thing that the E63 lacks that a lot of phones have now is intelligent zooming. Without the touchscreen, it's difficult to just be able to tap somewhere and automatically zoom to fit the column width. So it takes a little bit more work to read, but in general, it does a very good job of rendering the site. You can see this is pretty easy to read. Can easily subscribe to RSS feeds as long as they're marked up on the site properly. Pull up the feed now. Now you can see the same story we were just looking at, except in the RSS reader. Of course, you can click through to read the whole thing. Bring up the main menu. Very conventional looking main menu. There are different views though. Now we have the list view. It's not as useful as the grid. The keypad keys are linked to the menu items, but not in the way you might hope for. Now you can see I'm going to pull up the Office menu here by hitting 5, but in order to do that, make it work, I actually have to hold down the function key here. So I hold down the function key and hit the 5 button, and then that menus for Office is automatically opened. Again, I can hold down the function key and hit the 1 and automatically go to search. It would be nice if that worked without having to hold down the function key though. Go back into the main menu and take a look around. Go into the Tools. You can see the normal settings menu. See how it uses a tabbed interface, tabs across the top. And based on the arrowheads here, you see I'm trying to move right, and it's flashing left, meaning that there's no more tabs to the right. When I move one over to the left, you can see there's arrowheads on both sides because there's tabs in both directions. When I get to the first one, it shows that there's only tabs to the right.